JAMB urges polytechnic students to channel grievances over non-mobilization for National Youth Service Corps to appropriate authorities.
There is no NCE certificate that is issued in this country. NCE, that you go to NCC, that you won't have a copy.
Federal government distributes free fertilizers to farmers in Niger State.
We must focus on farming as the way out of food security.
Federal government unveils manual to improve access to quality health care at grassroots.
The role of National Standing Order revised are critical tools in addressing these challenges.
Hello and welcome to the News Desk at 6 and Nta News24. We are reaching you live from Abuja. I'm Olajide Bello. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, urges the National Association of Polytechnic Students, NAPS, to channel its grievances regarding non-mobilization of some higher national diploma HND students for the National Youth Service Corps NYC to the appropriate authorities. JAMB Registrar Professor Isiaka Oloyede disclosed these at a meeting with the leadership of the student body at the board headquarters in Buhari, Abuja. Olayinka Ojo reports.
The meeting becomes necessary to unravel circumstances that surround non-mobilization of some holders of the Higher National Diploma Certificate to participate in the mandatory one-year National Youth Service Program.
Have you ever seen anybody with national diploma going on NYC? It's not possible. Who goes on NYC?
Explaining that the issue has nothing to do with JAMB, as it only conducts examinations for admission into universities, National Diploma, ND, and Nigerian Certificate in Education, NCE programs. JAMB Registrar advised that rather than shift blame to the board, the students should trace the root cause of their challenges.
Let me tell you strictly where your problem is that you don't know. Where your problem. When you see NCE certificates, there is no NCE certificate that is issued in this country. NCE, that you go to NCC, that you won't have a copy. And that's why their certificate is co-signed with ESNCC in order to have the record. Just as NCC does, you can do that with MBT.
On his part, Director General of the
issue of those mobilized that are part-time. In the ND, they go and do part-time, while in the HND, they do their regular time. The issue there is that anytime they come for mobilization, we identify them, because in our mandate in NYSC, we are not supposed to mobilize those that are part-time students. And in their number, when they come for mobilization, we identify them. At the end of their number, you see P given to them by the JAMB, signifying that they are part-time students when they pass through their ND. So with that P, we know that they are part-time. For that reason, they are not qualified to be mobilized based on our mandate.
Satisfied with the explanation, President of NAPS, Ridwan Okpeyemi, resolved to engage appropriate authorities to resolve the issue.
We know where the problem lies. The problem actually lies from most of our institutions. We have to also go back to the institution, you understand, what is expected of them to do, what we have been discussed here so far. We are going to take it to the institution as well. When we take it to them, you understand, they will now see their reaction.
Institutions that use what it referred to as daily part-time programs were urged to desist from such practices. Olayinka Ojo, Nta News.
The federal government is matching words with action with the distribution of fertilizer to people across the country to boost food production and security. Latest on this trend is the flag-off of distribution of 3,000 bags of fertilizer free of charge to people in Niger South Senatorial District, courtesy of the federal government and senator representing the zone, Peter Nta Fatima Usman reports.
The distribution of 3,000 bags of fertilizer to farmers in all 8 local government areas that make up the Niger South Senatorial District is to further demonstrate President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's commitment to food sufficiency and creation of job opportunities for youths through agriculture. The distribution of the fertilizer directly to end users in the zone will reduce problems associated with middlemen and add value to the lives of people at the grassroots, prevent hunger, while also making life easy for people of the constituency through its representative at the National Assembly.
Government, in the efforts to boost agriculture, has mandated us to distribute these fertilizers to the people, and therefore we must focus on farming as the way out of food security and as a way out of unemployment.
Governor Muhammad Umaru Bago and the Etunupe were both represented at the flag-off.
His Excellency is leading by example, so that is to see that everybody should go back to farm.
The biggest employer of labor is farming. And this is the only way that at least we can engage the multitude of our youth.
The project is expected to be closely monitored to ensure even distribution of the targeted farmers to in turn yield bumper harvest to feed the nation. In Mina, I am Fatima Usman, NTA News.
Niger State government has presented 50 million naira as relief to the families of victims of Galadiman Kogo mining pit collapse in Shiroro local government area of the state. The presentation was made to 21 family members of those who lost their lives in the disaster. Hussein Musa has the details.
On the 3rd of June this year, Niger State recorded a mining pit collapse in Galadiman Kogo, a community in Shiroro local government area, which led to the death of 14 miners with several others critically injured. The presentation of checks to the family of the victims was part of the recommendations of the committee inaugurated by the state government to this effect shortly after the sad incident. 14 families of those who died in the incident were given 2.5 million naira each. Other victims were given varying amounts of money depending on the severity of injury sustained. Governor Muhammad Umar Bago was represented at the engagement.
It's just a relief, not a compensation. They should use it for commercial activity so that they can help themselves in the future and their children.
So we look at it, and that is where we try to bring the next of kin, or at least 3 people from the family, to come and sign, to come and ensure that the money gets to their family so that they can start a new life.
It's governments for their gesture and hope they will continue to assist victims of any mishap.
Other recipients of the financial relief by the state government appreciated the initiative and assured to make judicious use of the money. In Mina, Hussein Musa, NTA News.
The Inspector General of Police, Kaode Egbetokun, has expressed the force's determination to honor memories of the officers murdered by the proscribed Islamic movement in Nigeria, popularly known as Shiite, in the Federal Capital Territory recently. The IGP gave this assurance in a condolence message to their families through the Commissioner of Police, FCT, Benefigwe. Onotu Yakubu reports.
Images of agony, despair, and seeming loss of hope for a family. A father, husband, and breadwinner hacked to death in his prime by enemies of the state. The late Assistant Superintendent of Police, Innocent Agbabi, was on special assignment from his Mpape division to Use Junction on Sunday, August 25, when members of the proscribed group attacked their position, leaving him and 1 other operative dead and 3 others injured.
He was a great guy who loved everybody. All of us are not perfect, so he has his defections and all that, but he's a gentleman, He's a man of peace, like our father was a man of peace.
Commissioner of Police Bennett Igwe describes the incident as the proscribed group's declaration of war on the Nigerian police.
My heart is pained because it is unprovoked attack. That's what is paining all of us. Last year they did the same thing, and they killed the policeman in a beggar roundabout, collected his rifle. This time around, they have killed ASP Innocent and Alex, Inspector Alex, and collected their rifle too. So they have declared war on police. So that's why we say we cannot fold our hands and allow them to continue like that.
The IGP's emissary also made similar visit to the family of the late Inspector Alexander Ode, who was also killed in the unprovoked attack.
With this alone, my mind is plead. And please, I want to beg the government. He leave a family on ground here. The wife, the child, the sisters, and even the mother. She traveled day before yesterday. He's having a partial stroke now, as we are talking now.
CP Igwe disclosed that the IGP is in talks with the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory to ensure that the deceased officer's dependents are taken care of after paying the supreme price. Onotu Yakobo, Nta News.
Federal government has unveiled the revised national standing orders and manual for community health. Basi Taipan reports that the move is to improve access to quality health at the grassroots level.
Some people live by what they get, but others live by what they give. That's precisely what community health workers do. They are by the side of every pregnant woman, providing care and support. They are the village midwives, delivering babies, the educators who spread health tips, and the volunteers who guide patients to nearby clinics. Health managers believe empowering these heroes with the right knowledge, tools, and skills will boost health outcomes.
The role of National Standing Order revised are critical tools in addressing these challenges by providing standards, guidelines for managing common health conditions and common public emergencies affecting our rural people that are live underserved communities.
Recognizing their importance, the federal government has taken a big step to close gaps in knowledge and capacity. This unveiling, experts say, marks a significant step forward. The Minister of State for Health calls it the key to building a more responsive and efficient healthcare system at the grassroots.
The revised national standing orders are cornerstone in the effort to standardize and elevate the practice of community health practitioners. They are designed to empower practitioners to provide the highest standard of care, thereby supporting the sustainability, vitality of our national health programs.
Participants believe these documents reflect a shared commitment to ensuring that even the most remote communities have access to quality health care. Basi Taipan, NTA News.
The Africa Women Conference Next Generation and Partners are responding to the present economic realities by providing free medical services for women and entrepreneurial skills for young girls. Oluseyi Adeagbo reports that these vulnerable people at the new Kuchiguro IDP camp are the beneficiaries of this charity.
The decade of Boko Haram insurgency and its consequences, especially displacement of millions, mostly women and children, still lingers. Here at the new Kuchingoro IDP camp, where immense challenges still confront the community, interventions have continued to roll in to lessen the burden. The latest support is twofold. The first part is promoting community health in Africa, an initiative of the AWC next generation to provide basic health needs for women in the camp.
If we check their blood pressure and it's high, there's a medical team there and they are all specialized in different categories, the ones that will check, and then there's a doctor present there that will guide them. After they talk to them, they also refer them to their hospital where they also get free medical treatment.
Now the practical aspect is that a lot of them need follow-up, they need medications, and so we'll try our best to provide these medications for them.
Joy Moses, a mother of one, and Amsatu Musa both tell me how financial constraints have hindered them from accessing health care.
It's not easy to go into outside to test this sugar and BP. Even you go pay transport, pay money for the medicine. AWC, they bring this thing for us free.
It's nice to see these initiatives that come and just inform us more on how to live better and healthy.
Project 100 is an initiative of Dine and Park targeting young women and girls for skills acquisition and mentorship towards inspiring them for greatness.
I want to learn how to bake because what I study myself is bakery. So I want more knowledge on it.
We're doing a mindset shift and we're putting it in them that they can make it. And then we're also teaching them bookkeeping and accounting. We're teaching them how to start their business and how to sustain it. We are not leaving them alone. We're going through the whole process with them.
With an empowered girl child, would go to the woman child and then the family and also, of course, the society. If indeed we are going to turn around what is happening in our society, we have to start with the women.
The intervention, which says over 150 women as beneficiaries of the free medical outrage and targets 100 girls for empowerment, is in partnership with the Helpline Foundation for the Needy in Abuja. Olusheye Adiagbo, Nta News.
This is the news desk at 6 and Nta News24. Let's take a break now. More reports when we return.
What is fake news? A false information with no verifiable source presented as true story on media platforms with the sole intention of causing injuries, chaos and disaffection between persons, groups or countries. Fake news facilitates extremism. Fake news creates panic and distrust. Fake news breeds hatred. Fake news kills. Don't joke with it. Don't be in a rush. Verify your sources and facts. It is better late than fake. This message is brought to you by Nta News24.
Thanks for being there. 48 people have been confirmed dead with more than 50 cars burnt alive this Sunday afternoon in an explosion involving a petroleum tanker loaded with PMS after colliding with a trailer conveying travelers and cattle from Wodi in Kano State and route in Niger to Lagos State. The explosion, which occurred along Lapaya Gate 2 kilometers from Denda community in Agay local government area of Niger State, also had two other vehicles, a crane truck and a pickup van, caught up in the incident. The Niger State Emergency Management Agency's Rapid Response Team, which confirmed the incident, is conducting search and rescue operation as more bodies are still trapped inside the trucks. Reports also indicate that the 48 people have already been buried. Key stakeholders in the business of disaster management say effective data collecting during disasters, especially floods, is crucial for informed decision-making and response planning and the mitigation of disasters across the country. These were some of the consensus reached at a two-day workshop on disaster data collection organized by the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, in collaboration with the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP. Ilyasu Yakubu reports.
Data collection is a crucial component of research management, especially when it involves disaster, where timely and accurate information can save lives and resources. This two-day workshop is part of the Sahelian Resilience Project, and it brought together key stakeholders, including government officials, disaster management experts, and representatives from various humanitarian organizations to enhance their capabilities for effective data collection in the face of disasters. NEMA's Director General Zubaida Umar, represented by the Director, Disaster Risk Reduction, Daniel Obert, said the magnitude of destruction, damage and losses resulting from disaster requires readily available data, exchange and acceptability, as well as accuracy and timely utilization in every phase of disaster risk management.
Use data to cut across the phases of disaster cycle. We have recovery, we have preparedness, mitigation, response, prevention, adaptation.
We want to have a centralized hub for disaster loss and damage data so that it can prompt, it can guide the kind of development.
Experts say effective management of disaster risks in the contemporary times is determinant on full deployment of both quantitative and qualitative data for disaster risk-informed decision, planning and program implementation. In Abuja, Ilyasu Yakubu, NTA News.
Consignments of cocaine and pharmaceutical opioids concealed in ladies' sanitary pads and hair treatment cream containers heading to the United Kingdom, Ireland and Cyprus have been intercepted by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLA) at 3 courier firms in Lagos. A statement by Director Media and Advocacy, NDLA Headquarters Abuja, Femi Babafemi, states that in one of the logistic companies, not less than 30 parcels of cocaine weighing 1.1 kilogram concealed in hair cream containers were recovered by NDLA officers with the Directorate of Operations and General Investigation during examination of cargoes going to Ireland. Another consignment of 24 parcels of cocaine weighing 862 grams, also hidden in hair cream containers meant for delivery in UK, was equally intercepted at the same company. In the same vein, a total of 525 pills of tramadol, 225 milligram ecstasy concealed in ladies' sanitary pads going to Cyprus were seized at another courier firm in Lagos. Femi Babafemi says the operatives equally intercepted another consignment of 225 milligram of tramadol that came from Cameroon and heading to South Africa. And no fewer than 550,000 pills of tramadol were also intercepted at the Port Harcourt International Airport during a joint examination of cargo that came from Delhi, India, with men of the Nigeria Customs Service, while a suspect was arrested in connection with the seizure. Other raids led to the destruction of over 100,000 kilogram cannabis in Ekiti Forest, recovery of tons of illicit drugs in Kano, Osun, Taraba, Kaduna, Jigawa, Kogi, Bauchi, and Borno states. The Federal Road Safety Corps has launched an investigation into a viral video showing a physical altercation between one of its officers and a passenger over the steering wheel of a vehicle. In a statement by the Corps Public Education Officer, Olusegun Wimde, the FRC Corps Marshal Shehu Mohammed, ordered the probe into the video, which was said to have one of the FRC officials involved in a physical altercation with a passenger over the steering wheel in the course of impounding the vehicle of an apprehended traffic offender. Mohammed expressed disappointment and concern over the incident, assuring that the Corps would take the allegation seriously and ensure that rules of engagement upheld. This is the news desk at 6, and Nta News24 has a recap of our top stories. JAMB urges polytechnic students to channel their grievances over non-mobilization for National Youth Service Corps to appropriate authorities.
There is no NC certificate that is issued in this country. NC, that you go to NCC, that you won't have a copy.
Federal government distributes free fertilizers to farmers in Niger State.
must focus on farming as the way out of food security.
Federal government unveils manual to improve access to quality healthcare at the grassroots.
The role of National Standing Order revised are critical tools in addressing these challenges.
Glad to know you're still there. Celebrated annually on 8th of September, International Literacy Day is more than just a recognition of the ability to read and write. It's a global acknowledgement of the power of literacy in transforming lives, empowering minds, and shaping the future. Zinred Dingmo reports that this year's commemoration focuses on promoting multilingual education, literacy for mutual understanding and peace.
Master Usman. I am Master Usman.
Literacy is the gateway to education, critical thinking, and a world of opportunities. It lays the foundation for personal development, economic growth, and social progress, bridging the gaps between generations, cultures, and societies. Statistics from global bodies are not too satisfactory regarding the level of literacy, and this, stakeholders say, impedes on any meaningful development of nations, especially those with low literacy rates.
We are not saying we don't have problems, we have a lot of problems. And these are problems, it is skewed. Our literacy rate is not respecting normal curve, with so many of the areas skewed towards lower literacy rates. And then there is marked variation between south and north, and also among male and female. So these are all our indices that we have to also, the essence of using this data is see where we can pay more attention so that we can move at the global level.
This year's commemoration highlights the importance of linguistic diversity and inclusivity in education, with voices across board calling for the integration of multilingual education, leveraging technology, and upgrading curricula as channels to achieve the goal.
Let us embrace the diversity of our languages that will help them reach our world and work together to create a society where every individual, regardless of their language or background, can thrive and contribute maximally to national development.
When we value and acknowledge the diversity of languages, we validate the experiences and perspectives of diverse communities.
And as the world marks the day, concerned groups are again reminding us that literacy goes beyond just reading and writing. It encompasses digital literacy, financial literacy, and critical literacy, equipping individuals with the skills to navigate an increasingly complex world in an era of misinformation. In Abuja, Zenred Dingmoon, Nta News.
And that's the news desk at 6 and Nta News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Olajide Bello.